Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the COPEC Financial Wellness Daily Webcast live streaming program, and excited to have you here and be part. For those of you that are new to this, first of all, we've got some disclosures here. This is really kind of disclosing what COPEC, as far as the speakers and potential conflicts of interest or affiliations. Also, as one of those companies, retirement strategies, since I'm hosting and on the board, we have some extra disclosures there as well. If you would like to see more disclosure information on this, you can also go to the COPEC website. Down at the bottom of each page is a disclosure section that you can see that. To get going here, well, first of all, we've got a great program today. Jeff Young, the LinkedIn guru, who really has taken the whole LinkedIn networking under his wing and has done a great job providing insight for many people. And we're happy to have him part of this. And obviously, when we deal with getting jobs and networking, this is a big financial component for people, especially right now when getting work and things like that is real important. So this is an important critical point to financial wellness, and so we're excited to have Jeff join us. The program today, and Jeff is joining us. Jeff, thank you so much for being here and taking part of this outreach. I know that this is something new, and we're all excited to bring this to the community. And maybe if you could tell us a little bit about yourself and what we're going to try to cover today.
Certainly. Greetings, everybody. My name is Jeff Young, and as he said, I am the LinkedIn guru. Actually, a friend of mine called me that some time ago, and I've been doing this a long time. I've actually been doing LinkedIn training. Well, I've been on LinkedIn since May of 2004, and I've been doing LinkedIn training for the local community and other areas since January of 2008. So one of the things that I've found over that amount of time is that the only thing constant on LinkedIn is change. LinkedIn loves to change stuff. So that's what we're going to talk about. Some of the more recent changes to LinkedIn. First of all, a little bit of a disclaimer. We only have a half an hour. And with a half an hour, I'm only going to be able to give you maybe 4 or 5 of the most recent changes. I will tell you that I used to keep track of this, and last year I kept track over a 6-month period, and over 6 months, LinkedIn made more than 60 different changes, big ones, small ones, but 60 different changes in their website and their capabilities. So I guess that's one of the reasons why you should care. One of the things you kind of need to do with LinkedIn is get on LinkedIn every once in a while, because if you don't get on it frequently enough, it's going to look somewhat totally different to you, because they will change the interface on you. So more than anything else, though, I want to answer questions. If people have questions, I'll reiterate what Jay said. Please put your questions in the Q&A or in the chat box, and we'll go from there. But I'm just going to run through a few things to show you a few new things on LinkedIn, and I'll share my screen here in just a minute.
Hey, Jeff.
Yes, please.
Because there are so many, do you actually have the laundry list of all of them that you can read through them and just say, these are the ones I'm going to start with? And if anything pops to the other people, they can put it in the chat box, and we can try to address some of those that maybe you weren't going to go deeper into.
I'll show a place where you can actually find them. Okay.
Okay, great.
Because I do a lot of posts out on LinkedIn, and one of the things I'm going to ask people to do is go to LinkedIn, look me up. Look up either the LinkedIn guru or look up Jeff Young, although there are a lot of Jeff Youngs, but there's only one Jeff Young that's the LinkedIn guru, so you should find me. And follow me out there, and that will give you a chance of seeing them as well. But that's one of the first things I'm going to show, Jay, is where people can go. And I'm actually going to also give a shout out to a friend of mine who's in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, who kind of, in addition to what I do, concentrates on telling folks about what is new on LinkedIn. So I'm gonna ask you to look him up as well. Okay.
Can I ask you a quick question, just a clarification? You said, because I'm one of those average to novice, even though it's been around, I'm on there, I've got a lot of connections, but I don't utilize it as well as I should. So I love these discussions. But one thing you said right there that I'd like to clarify, you said follow you. Can you please define the difference between follow you and connected, meaning you're a first connection maybe?
Okay, so in my case, okay, you can follow anyone on LinkedIn, but if you want to connect with them, you actually have to click the connect button, and you find that those buttons on a person's profile. Okay, so you and I are already connected, so there won't be a connect button. There'll be a message button.
But if I didn't follow you as well, am I not following you?
When you connect with someone, you are automatically following them.
Got
So
it.
because there's a first degree connection, you're automatically following them. But you can follow someone without being connected with them, which is exactly what I prefer. When people go to my profile, I'd love to be able to help people from all over the world. So when people go to my profile, they're going to see a follow button, okay? And so if they click that follow button, what that signifies to LinkedIn is that they'd like to see my stuff in their homepage feed, okay? There are no guarantees, but that's at least a start where you can see my stuff. And then, of course, you can always go to my profile and see my stuff as well, okay?
Right. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
My pleasure. So let's talk about what some of that looks like. So I'm gonna take over the screen from you, and I'm gonna share my screen. So I'm looking right now at my homepage feed. Okay. One of the things I want to do is I want to show folks that, first of all, if you want to see more of my stuff, just open up. And by the way, you might notice that I've got Superman around me a lot. Okay, and behind me here and on this screen as well. The typical thing about that is that a guru means teacher. And usually when I introduce myself, I say, "Hi, I'm Jeff Young. I'm a teacher. What's your superpower?" Okay, so that's where the Superman logo comes from. But what I want to show folks is that if you're interested in seeing more of my stuff or getting lots of tips on LinkedIn for free, okay, all you have to do is go to Google or any other search engine you want and type in search for hashtag the LinkedIn Guru, THE LinkedIn Guru, okay? And if you do that search, you're going to come up and you're going to find a whole bunch of stuff, including all my videos and all those kinds of things that, where I've been mentioned on Twitter, Instagram, you name it. But first of all, here's my LinkedIn profile. That's second on the list, okay? And the one I wanted to point out here, and the one I'm going to go to right now, is this one, because this is my website, if you will, which has my LinkedIn tips of the week on it. And it's got LinkedIn tips for the last 2 years on there. So you could peruse through that at your leisure and find a whole bunch of interesting things about some of the changes to LinkedIn. As you notice, as it goes down through here, it just goes on and on and on. Okay, so there's tons of tips. All you have to do is go down and click one of those tips, and you'll find a new tip. Now, I brought you here to also show you this gentleman. I want you to look up and also possibly follow Kevin Turner. Okay, Kevin is the guy that I mentioned from Dallas-Fort Worth. Okay, and he is great because he is really good at keeping track of LinkedIn changes and giving you a lot of detail about LinkedIn changes. Okay, so if as an example, as a matter of fact, I've actually featured Kevin on my profile. So if I click on him, this will take me actually to a post that I did. Okay, and then that will take you to the post, and then you can click on Kevin's name so that you can actually get to Kevin's profile. So this will take you to Kevin. Okay? Shout out to my bud in Texas, because he does such a great job. If you go to his profile, one of the things he's featured, for example, is here, are you staying ahead of the LinkedIn curve? And this is 20 plus different changes that he's kept track of in LinkedIn for 2020 alone. Okay, so that's on his profile. On my profile, as I said before, if you go back to my profile, okay, which we'll get to right here by clicking on me, you can see my changes as well, and you'll see not only that featured thing of his, but you'll see featured tips, and you'll also see my activity down here, okay, so that you can see, if you go to my profile, to the activity section, click see all, and then click posts, you will find a whole ton of different posts, of course, one of which we even mentioned the fact that I was going to be live today on COPEC, okay, as an example. All right, so let's get into a couple of the changes, just for grins here, okay. First one I want to highlight is something that actually shows up on your profile, okay. It is actually related to this. It is what's called a pronunciation icon. Now, the interesting thing about this one is that there are different programs that LinkedIn puts out because the mobile application, the mobile app, is different than the desktop browser, which is where I'm sitting right now. So I want to make sure that you understand if you want to, what this is for. The reason this exists is for folks who have a difficult name to pronounce and actually put their pronunciation of their name inside of a little video, an audio file that they can then have attached to their profile. So Jay, if you wanted to make sure that people didn't mispronounce your name Leimler, okay, you could actually put your name in there, but it's for more than that. I want to mention this one though, and it's important that you do this. If you're going to actually try to do this, you actually have to do this from your phone. It is only available as an edit from your phone because your phone is meant to be doing a lot more audio video than you can do on a desktop. So you can't get to it by clicking the edit here, but you can get to it by clicking the edit on the mobile app, either on a a smartphone or a tablet or whatever. Okay. When you do that, you can then record up to 10 seconds. And then that 10 seconds will be played on your profile. Now, the cool part about that is that, look, I've got an easy to pronounce name. So I decided that I was going to use this for something other than just pronouncing my name. If you can't pronounce Jeff Young by looking at it, well, I'm in bigger trouble than I thought I was, okay? So from that perspective, what I've done is I put something on there that helps identify me, helps brand me, and even has a call to action. So listen to what happens when someone comes to my profile and they click on this. Hopefully you can hear this.
Namaste, and thank you for visiting my profile. Please click the follow button to find more tips on your LinkedIn feed. Thank you.
Could you hear that, Jay?
Yeah, it's very faint and muffled, but if you really like it, if you pay, maybe turn up the volume, do it again, and everybody can maybe turn up your volume right when you say go, but get ready to turn it down. It's like commercials during a show, but it's very faint.
And if you can't hear it the first time, go to my profile and click it, and then you'll hear, you can replay it as many times as you need to hear it.
Yeah, go ahead and do it again, and everybody.
Thank you for visiting my profile. Please click the follow button to find more tips on your LinkedIn feed. Thank you.
So basically it says namaste, which is a part of being a guru. And it says, thank you for visiting my profile. Please click the follow button in order to find more tips on your LinkedIn feed. So again, I've used it as a call to action. So that's really one of the neat things that they've added here recently that really allows you to differentiate yourself. Because as you look around, a lot of people's profiles that you go look at are not going to have that on there. So it's another way of branding yourself, another way of identifying yourself, okay? Okay, let's stay here for a second and let's talk about another one of the things that has changed recently. Jay, if I go to your profile real quickly, I hope you don't mind, I'm just gonna bring it up. Basically, this is what this highlighted area here is it's called a professional headline, okay? And you have used it to say who you are and where you work, okay? That's fine, that's a title. But in my case, what I used it for originally is also a kind of a Nike Just Do It, a branding statement as well. One of the things that was a limitation of this is that before it only had 120 characters. They have changed this now so that you can actually have 220 characters, an extra 100 characters that you can actually put in here now. So that allowed me to put a whole new sentence in there, which again included remember my call to action again? My call to action of please click the follow button if you want to see LinkedIn tips. Okay, there it is again. So I use that. So that's another one of the changes that they made as well. And this one is really important because this and your picture and your name are three things that follow you everywhere on LinkedIn. No matter whether you're commenting on something, no matter where you are, if someone else sees what you've done on LinkedIn, it will have those three things: your name, this headline, and your picture, okay? So that's what makes that one of the most important things that you could have and use to brand yourself or to use it as a call to action like I did before. Okay, any questions so far?
No, and I haven't seen any from our attendees either. It looks like you're covering it pretty well.
Okay, do you have any more about?
No, that's interesting because because I'm in the investment world, I basically have a lot of potential restrictions on changing things. So it's always interesting. But for people out there that are not restricted, I think that's a great way to differentiate yourself. So that's great information.
I agree with you. There are some stipulations because you're part of the SEC, and there are some regulations that you can't do in some instances. But in terms of being able to utilize this as a branding tool, practically any place you go on LinkedIn and any graphic you have and any text that you have can be used as a branding tool, and also used as keywords to help get found.
Yeah.
Because again, I mentioned my hashtag the LinkedIn Guru. That's repeated on my profile many different times. Okay, so let's start with another one. Let's go to the main homepage feed. A lot of times when I teach folks the LinkedIn, and usually this is actually my 45th free seminar of the year, and I usually used to do them, of course, in front of people as a 2-hour seminar. And a lot of people would say, one of the things that is key to doing something on LinkedIn is actually posting your stuff on LinkedIn, putting comments out there, putting actual information, content out there. And one of the things that people keep telling me is that, I don't know what to post. I just haven't any idea about what to post. Well, one of the things that LinkedIn has done here recently is that if you go to your homepage feed and you actually click the Start a Post link, it will actually suggest up to, and by the way, here's a good illustration. In my case, when I click that, it actually suggests up to 6 different possible template posts. So I could celebrate an occasion, I can find an expert, I can share someone's profile, I can share that I'm hiring if I have a company. I can create an actual poll on LinkedIn and poll my network with a question, or I can offer help. Okay, and by the way, that's one of the key things that, as I said, some of these things that I may be showing you, you might not even have if you look at your profile, because LinkedIn is constantly rolling these out across over 700 million people. So it may take a while. As a matter of fact, if you don't have a company, you probably aren't going to have share that you're hiring, okay, as an example. So you might only have 5 here. But my point is that if you're not exactly sure what to post, if you want to just try something and get started, go in here and then actually just click one of these templates that will allow you to do something. So as an example, if I want to actually share someone else's profile, which is a really nice thing to do, okay, I can search for one of my connections, like guess who, Jay, okay, and I can drop Jay in and it will bring up his profile, and then I can actually say something about Jay. See, it filled in the rest of it. James J, well, I probably wouldn't want to call you James J. Okay, I'd probably actually just switch that to just J. Okay, and I'd leave it like that. Would be a great addition to the team. And then I might actually tell people why they should go look at you as a part of this post as well. And that's all it takes. That would actually share the profile with a hashtag of share profile, and boom, I click that post and it's done that quickly. And I can also, put anything else I want in here. There's a maximum actually of 1,300 characters. So any of these are possibilities as a post, and it's giving you a template, and that's just one out of the 6 templates that are possibilities. So again, I know it's tough for some people to figure out what they should post, but LinkedIn is trying to help you with a few templates out there that will allow you to actually go, excuse me, I'm gonna have to discard this, that will actually allow you to go out here and pick one of these templates to go actually start a post and then type in whatever it is you do. And you can see how quick it is. This really doesn't take that long. And posting is one of the most important things you can do on LinkedIn, because posting actually gets out there to your network and interacts with your network and shows your network something.
Hey, Jeff, let me ask you a quick question. You said that some of these might not show up because they're always updated. Why would one person have it and another person not yet?
It depends on the rollout schedule, first of all, because as LinkedIn rolls stuff out to 700 million people over the world, okay, this is a global phenomenon. So over the world, it will take a while for it to roll out around the globe, first of all. But it's also context sensitive. Okay, I would bet that, I'm one of the few that would have shared that you're hiring, because I actually have a company and I have established an actual company on LinkedIn. Okay, so since it's that way, you'd have to check to see it, but that's context sensitive to me because I actually quote unquote own a company on LinkedIn. I mean, if you actually look at my profile and scroll down, you'll actually see my company, and my company is actually called hashtag the LinkedIn Guru as well. But that's one of the reasons I'd have one. So most people, I've seen people have 3 of these. I've seen people have 4 of these. The maximum you can have, I know, because now I know I have all of them, is 6. But many people only have 5 because they don't have a company like I do.
Just out of curiosity, so the voiceover, that the name enunciation piece, the 10-second. So I'm like looking at my screen right now. Where do you see that? Is it under the edit?
No, well, unless you're doing it, remember I said on a mobile app, unless that's
Oh, there you go. So it'll show up
only
on the
available on the
mobile.
mobile app. So if I hit edit here, there will be nothing here that will allow me to record that pronunciation. It's only going to show on one of the mobile apps, either on a tablet or a phone.
But once you do it, then it shows up here.
That's exactly right. Once you
Got
do
it.
it and you're satisfied with it, you save it on your profile on the phone, and poof, it automatically pops up here.
Got it.
Okay. Okay, so I got time for maybe like one more. Okay, and this one is really powerful too, because it's really close to the top. It's actually one of the things that they added, and it's one of the things that I showed you a little bit earlier, because I wanted to actually feature a couple of different posts or things like that on my profile. It's really neat to have graphics on your profile, because it really looks like kind of a website, and it allows people to do stuff. This section, that is a fairly new section, is called featured section. Okay, again, Jay, if I go to yours, I don't think I'm going to see one unless nope, you haven't done one. Okay, and because it would show up right here. Okay, mine shows up just below my about section. So if I go to your profile, okay, you haven't done one yet, and that's what I'm going to show folks how to do one of these. Okay, so it shows up just below your about section. If you want to feature something, and that usually means feature some sort of graphic or some sort of document or something along those lines, okay, you actually have to add that as a profile section. If you've never done it, if you already have done it, you can go down here and you can hit the plus sign. But if you've never done it before, the way you add a thing to your featured section is you use this blue add profile section button, click that and tell it you want to add featured. And then from that standpoint, you can then feature an article, a link, some sort of media. Okay, so if I wanted to feature an article that I'd written, okay, all I have to do is click articles. It will take me to my articles. I can tell it right here by clicking the feature button to feature that article, and then say done. And lo and behold, all of a sudden, I've now featured a new thing on LinkedIn.
And again, point being is that it doesn't get lost in the ongoing script. It's always right top.
That's exactly right. It's always here, because this is one that's sticky. This is sticky on your profile, as opposed to if you did a post, or you might want to feature a post. But if you don't feature a post goes out to the feed, scrolls off the feed, and then disappears. This is a way of keeping it associated with your profile, hence the word feature, okay? And once you've actually done this, if you want to move it around, manipulate it, change it, okay, it's easy to do as well, because on your profile, you come down to this section, click the edit, which is this pencil button, okay, and then I can actually remove it. Okay, or if I wanted to move things around, I can take this. That's one of the nice features about this as well. This is one of the few places that you can actually order things. So if I wanted to keep my schedule of LinkedIn seminars up at the top, I just click that hamburger icon, is what it's actually called. Okay, that's a Google term, and basically click that, then say done, and poof, see, it's now first on my profile. And it's easy enough. It's easy enough to move things around. I'll move it back to where it was before. Go in here, click, drag it down to the third, say done, and poof, now it's back to where it was before. This is a very powerful thing, because again, one of the interesting things about it is that you can, if people come to your profile, they can also peruse all of them by clicking that see all button and then just scrolling through a bunch of stuff. So as an example, I have featured another person, actually another two people, okay? And then I feature my schedule of LinkedIn seminars, which again, is just a schedule. I keep it out there all the time so that people can always come to my profile and find out where my next free seminar is going to be. And I featured another lady. By the way, this is a great lady too. This is a lady from Toronto, Canada. And she actually has an assessment out here that is a 120 question yes/no question assessment that will assess how well you're doing on your profile, okay, which is really great, which is why I featured it. And then these last two featured things are a couple of things that I've featured as far as my newsletter is concerned. Here's another different person as well, okay, just featuring all kinds of different posts that I want to be front and center. And that's the definition of featured. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I'm getting to the end of my time here. So
Yeah, let's go ahead and use that. If anybody who's listening in has a quick question, obviously if we can answer it real quick, or we'll go into the overtime. Without any questions, we can go ahead and call it here at 2:30. But so we'll kind of wait for that a little bit. But Jeff, thank you so much. This is a great opportunity for everybody to kind of see from a different perspective. I like that one, the one feature that you had on there. I can't remember which one it was, but it says, "Are you on LinkedIn or are you LinkedIn?" And that's a really great term, where the term LinkedIn can be, mean two different things. And I'd be the first to say I'm on LinkedIn, but I'm not LinkedIn. And I feel kind of bad about that, because sometimes, like when people are looking for a job, I say use my connections to find out if there's a connection that will help you. So I almost use it as a Rolodex of people that can be utilized, whereas I'm not doing a good job, not just, like for example, the program here, we're trying to get the word out, so we want people to share that. But the top of mind aspect of LinkedIn, as opposed to just, I've got this Rolodex and, that kind of an idea.
Yeah. You may have noticed that I really, honestly, you might have found out by my tone and the fact that I've been on LinkedIn, since May of 2004, is that I really love LinkedIn. It is the absolute best professional networking tool I've ever seen in my life. And I think your point is well taken. A part of that process is to build an individual network, is to build to some degree a Rolodex, or a group of contacts, a list of contacts. Okay, but another part of that networking process is also, networks are like gardens. They need a little care and feeding. And if you do what you just described and care and feed and become top of mind, people are going to think about you from a referral standpoint. They're going to think about you from buying your services standpoint. So it's really great because it really works. And I think one of the rules of thumb that I would tell you on LinkedIn is that every single time I've discovered, when I do more on LinkedIn, I get more out of LinkedIn.
Yeah, it probably does fall into that category where everybody says the more you put in, the more you get out of it. Yep. So, hey, Jeff, thank you so much. These are always one of my favorites here, because it's such an area that I think people really need to get up to speed on, and let alone all the other financial wellness areas. So I love it, and I appreciate you. And thank you so much for being part of this. And I think, we'll have you on relatively regularly. So excited about that. For those of you attending, if you like this, feel free to reach out, follow Jeff. Please take a look at the calendar and when he's on next. And we look forward to having you join us, and we'll see you soon.
Yep. Thank you very much. As always, namaste. It's a pleasure doing business with you, Jay. You and I have been doing this for a long time, and I enjoy it.
COPEC is a great tool, and I'm happy to have you. And thank you so much for being part. Everybody have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Take care.
Bye-bye.